A wild finish out in Minnesota, updates on Ducks news, and much more on this episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome, everydayers. Thanks for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Kyle Carr. I'm a lifelong Anaheim Ducks fan, and I've spent multiple years covering collegiate sports, including college hockey. But today we're talking about the Anaheim Ducks. Couple things to cover today as we look at the wild finish that was the game in Minnesota that the Ducks just played on Tuesday. Then we got a little update on some Ducks news, including some signings and some potential trophy candidates. And then we're going to look at the last game preview of this regular season, what to expect with the Jets. So first, though, we got to talk about what was a wild finish out in Minnesota. There was a couple of awesome things that happened. We got Tim Walsh, who gets his NHL debut, who just came over from the Western Michigan University, who just won the NCAA Division I National Championship. So congrats to him on that win and making his NHL debut on Tuesday. Ian Moore sees his second game of the season. So good to get these younger guys up and getting reps right before the offseason. The game out there in Minnesota, it was a pretty back and forth game. It was kind of an interesting game because Minnesota needed 1 point, at least 1 point, to make it and secure their playoff berth for the season. So they were definitely a little desperate in trying to get that point. They started the game with Gustafsson in net, not Marc-Andre Fleury. And it was pretty back and forth between the two teams. You could see the Ducks were bringing the heat. They were not allowing the Wild to have a runaway game, but it was like they weren't really creating a lot of chances down the middle. It was more, they were, like I said, a lot of back and forth, transition, giveaway, takeaway. Both teams were just kind of moving it around. There was the Wild who did get the first goal of the game in the first period. They had pretty much a crazy little play that happened. So the Ducks give up the puck in the offensive zone in a quick passing play by the Wild. They bump it up through the neutral zone, and Johansson's pretty much left alone with a one-on-one on Dostal, and he buries it, gives the Wild the lead. And then Alex Killorn later, he comes back, gets a crazy redirect off the rush from Leo Carlsson, putting a chance on net, and he pretty much gets the middle of his shaft on the puck and ties up the game. And the second period after that, it was just that back and forth that I'm talking about, with lots of opportunities shut down by Anaheim. But whenever it came to them they got the puck into the offensive zone quite a bit, but there wasn't a lot of shots on net. It was, I think there was only like a total of 5 shots in the second, technically assists to Anaheim, but they were creating opportunities in a sense. Like there wasn't a time where I felt like, oh yeah, the Ducks are getting hemmed in, they're out of it. It was both teams just kind of would have like a one-off chance, and then it would come the other way, and then another off chance, then come out the other way. And then finally we go into the third period, and it's looking sort of the similar way. But then Sam Colangelo, he gets his 10th of the season, which is really, really awesome after starting the season late. He was down in San Diego for most of the year. He only recently came up, and I want to say February was his first game with Anaheim, where he really started to make an impression on the lineup around the trade deadline area. And to get 10 goals within that time is fantastic. So he keeps his scoring going. It was a beauty of a backhander. Just a phenomenal goal for him. So I'm really, really proud of the younger players stepping up this year and bringing a lot of offense. Unfortunately, the Ducks had the lead the entire rest of the third. It was 2-1. I would have liked to see a third goal go in. There was a couple times where it looked like they were going to make it 3-1, but they continued the pressure, and then finally Minnesota. They kind of, as soon as the tie breaking goal went in by Colangelo, you could see the Wild getting a little anxious, and they were definitely started to bring the heat a lot more. Like they saw the playoffs on the line. They saw all of this going down. They showed Marc-Andre Fleury on the bench, and you could tell he was kind of stressing out, sweating it, just being the backup on the bench there. And then they pull the goalie, and all the Ducks had to do was hold it down for 40 seconds. That's all. 40 seconds. Then the Wild get possession. The Ducks get it. They get Frank Vetrano almost gets an opportunity to get the empty net, but it gets pulled off him. He kind of loses an edge, falls down. Wild come back into the zone, and then Gudas collects the puck. He has an opportunity to launch it down or kind of make a deep play, but instead he hesitates for a minute, tries to see a lane, and it goes right to the Wild. They enter the zone again, get another opportunity, and then the puck after a shot goes all the way down, starts to roll towards the empty net, but they collect it again, enter the zone. They get a shot, and Dostal makes an absolute valiant stick save, completely reaches across, gets the paddle on the puck, but it doesn't bounce far enough, and there's no Anaheim player there to help clean it up. And Eriksson Ek is right there on the goal line, ties it with 20 seconds left in the game. And once those 20 seconds are up, the Wild, they're elated. You could just see the bench energy completely change because that 1 point was all they needed to secure their playoff berth. And so after the break goes on and, we come back to OT, they already had the empty net. We go to OT, and then all of a sudden, Marc-Andre Fleury comes out and gets his last little regulation playing time. They already have the point. They got the playoff secure, so they allow Marc-Andre Fleury to get his last couple of minutes of the regular season in his career. And I thought that was just a really outstanding move by the Wild. And he came and stood on his heads. The Ducks challenged him right away. They got a couple shots on him. He made some really good saves. And then the Ducks get their first power play off the first shot. They get their first power play of the game in OT. They get a couple shots on him. They couldn't capitalize. Carlson almost gets one top corner, but Fleury just gets enough of his shoulder on it and pops it out. And then the Wild finally get possession back after the penalty kill and come down. It was kind of a weird play. They were moving the puck, and they delayed. The skater on the Wild delayed and then made this shot that just left Dostal kind of off balance. He kind of just, it looked like he jumped when at first sight, but really rewatching it looks like he kind of just got caught off balance. And as he's falling, he gets his glove on it, but somehow he loses the puck. It bounces up and then goes up and off of him into the net. And so the Wild ended up getting the 2 points of the night. At least the Ducks got one. So it really doesn't matter for Anaheim at this point as they are already out. And it's good for the Wild to have that as they're going in, and they're going to be playing the Vegas Golden Knights in their playoffs. But then another classy move happens at the end of the night as the entire Ducks team, all the players, they stay out there after the loss and shake Marc-Andre Fleury's hand for a successful career. And just, he's one of those guys that it's hard to hate with the smile he has, his personality, all the antics that you hear about. Like, he's definitely been a very big ambassador of hockey, and he happens to be my son's favorite player. So really cool to see him have this success right now and to be able to go and be a backup for the Wild in the playoffs and get some playoff experience right before he ends his career. So just absolutely great moment for Marc-Andre Fleury and for the world of hockey to see the Ducks stay out there and all shake his hand. And you could see big smiles everywhere. And I think Leo Carlson said something about trying to score on him or something, because there's a picture of him. He's saying hi to Huso, but then you could see him locking eyes with Carlson. Fleury's got this big laugh on there. So just a good overall energy, even though there was a loss for Anaheim. It was just one of those moments that you just have to appreciate. It's, it's bigger than the team. It's about the game. So I like that. And speaking of about the game, there's a lot going on with the Ducks and their prospects. So lots of news to talk about, and we'll get into that next. Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. This is my go to snack. I get the no shells variety. I can just grab a giant handful when I need to go on the go for a hockey practice, a hockey game, or if I'm going to just work or work out or whatever it is when I'm feeling down, I need a little pick me up. Get me some Wonderful Pistachios and I am good to go. So make sure you get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. All right, now to give you a little bit of an update on some Ducks news. Some of this has happened like a week or two ago, but really just wanted to catch you up on what's been happening with the team in regards to signings and players getting nominated for trophies and stuff like that. So first off, we got to talk about the Ducks signing center Carey Terrence on April 9th to a 3-year entry-level contract beginning with the 25-26 season. He was drafted by Anaheim in the second round in 2023 and had a very, very lucrative and successful season with the Erie Otters this year. So, really good play for him, and just awesome that he'll get time next year to come in and doesn't have to burn a year off of his contract this year. Another signing that happened, the Ducks signed defenseman Ian Moore, as we've seen him play 2 games now already. And that was a 2-year entry-level contract. They signed him on April 12th, and that's beginning this season, obviously, as he made his appearance. And that will go through the 25-26 season. So a little interesting that it's going to be basically just a 1 year after this year. So but good to have him locked down for now. He had signed his amateur tryout back in San Diego on March 20th and did an outstanding job down there. He started getting points right off the bat, especially as a defenseman. He plays a really strong game. You could see him getting engaged already in the last 2 games. And so he obviously proved himself. Pat Verbeek liked what he saw, and now he's got his 2-year entry level contract. He was drafted in the third round in 2020, so a little bit of time to develop as he did play for Harvard. So good to see that things are paying off for the kid. Another signing for the Ducks as they signed center Tim Wash, who we saw take his debut on Tuesday against the Wild. And he signed a 1-year entry level contract through the 24-25 NHL season on April 14th. So this is an interesting one because it is only the 1 year and he did make his debut. So this counts as that 1 year. So he was going to be a free agent coming up. So this is a way for the Ducks to lock him down, get a number on his contract, and then negotiate another contract for the time being, as I really see Anaheim wanting to bring him back because this guy, not only was he part of the NCAA championship winning Western Michigan Broncos, he had 30 points with the team this year and a plus 22 rating. He ended up his college career with over 70 points, and he played for the Broncos for 5 years. And this year, he was also named the NCHC Defensive Forward of the Year. So just a really good year for him. He's been spending a lot of time developing, and it's really good to have that winning mentality to come over. And I mean, talk about having a week when you go and you win the NCAA championship, you're celebrating the natty with your boys, and then you're making your NHL debut in Minnesota. Like, how could you ask for a better story? And he was a first round pick in 2018. So this guy has been on the Ducks list for a while. He was drafted in first round in 2018, spends 5 years in college, and now he's finally making his debut. So for all you kids out there, remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. So just take the time and develop and eventually you can make your NHL debut yourself. And then another signing, the last one I'm going to be talking about for now, is they signed defenseman Connor Smith to a 3-year entry level contract beginning in the 25-26 season. And that was signed today, Tuesday. He will join the San Diego Gulls for the remainder of this season on an amateur tryout. So at least he'll get some play time with the professional level before the season ends, as San Diego only has a couple games left themselves. This guy was drafted in the 4th round in the 2023 draft. So definitely stepping up and getting some time. He really proved himself out this year. So good to see him getting some time, getting some play time, and just a lot of youth coming up. And the Ducks are working their system. They're working well. You got the youth on the Anaheim Ducks, you got youth in San Diego, and all these guys, these drafts from 2018, 2020, 2023, and some of them not even first rounders. We got a couple third rounders, fourth rounders, and they're all making their way up. So absolutely love to watch the Ducks pipeline flourish like that. Now, speaking of this is not the Ducks pipeline. This guy has been here for a little bit, and he was the team's captain this year, Radko Gudas. He has been selected as the Ducks candidate for the King Clancy Memorial Trophy this year. This is awarded to a player who exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice. And the big part, the key factor, is that they've made a noteworthy contribution to the community through, humanitarian type initiatives and donations, everything like that. And him and his wife, Barb, so they've been contributing to this school. He's really big on education and trying to get student athletes more connected with sports and better education. And so he's been donating to the school in Buran, Czechia, called the ZS Baltimore. I'm not exactly sure if that's how it's supposed to be, but it's ZS Baltimore. And they've helped fund the school. They've helped provide a lot of necessities for the school. And now the school has grown and they're about to expand, and they are a huge contributor to let the school have a giant new all state-of-the-art campus that's supposed to be opening in 2026. So it's just awesome to see him give back to his hometown. They're also very involved here in Orange County while they've been here. So just a good family and a good team guy. Gotta love Radko Gudas, the Butcher. Whether or not you're happy with his play at certain times, he is a good character and a good person for the Anaheim Ducks, and he does contribute a lot of leadership to the squad. And then another trophy that was mentioned before, I'm going to just recap, is that John Gibson, he has been nominated as the Ducks candidate for the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy. And now this trophy is for someone who has exemplified a lot of perseverance and sportsmanship and really dedication to hockey. And when you look at Gibson's career, he has been with Anaheim his entire career. He has faced this nasty rebuild. It's been 7 years since the Ducks have had playoffs. He was part of the playoffs. He was there for the comeback on Catella. He's had all these great moments with the team. And then he's also stayed with the team through the thick and thin and the bad times and the low times. But he still continues to show up. His numbers dropped, but he kept the Anaheim Ducks in so many different games. And he's been dealing with injuries, but he keeps coming back. And he's a really, really awesome character and person for the Ducks. And I've always loved John Gibson. So it's exciting to see him get recognized for the dedication that he does have for Anaheim. And now we got to talk about the unfortunates, which is that there is only one game left for Anaheim. Just one. It's the last game. It's a back-to-back, and it's against the Winnipeg Jets. So we'll have a little preview of that coming up. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives business flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or for a long term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. If you need help with marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivered incredible results. Instead of hiring full time, you can find affordable top tier freelancers to scale your business efficiently. It has everything and anything you need when it comes to hiring, whether full time, contract, whatever it is that you're looking for, Upwork has got you. So visit upwork.com right now and visit your or post your job for free. That's upwork.com, upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today. And now for the last game preview of the 24-25 Anaheim Ducks season. It's already coming to a close. I feel like we just got here. And we're entering the off season. It's going to be a lot of fun news coming up and free agency, the draft, and all the moves that are going to be happening. But then we get to sit and relax and enjoy the playoffs. I don't know about you, but when my team is in the playoffs, I get so stressed and anxious, and it affects way too much of my mood. And I'm sure my family doesn't like that. But we get to just sit back as Ducks fans and enjoy the playoffs and really just take in the spectacle because it is the best playoffs in any sport out there. Love the Stanley Cup playoffs. But for one last day, the Anaheim Ducks are going to be playing the President's Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets. Jets right now, they are 7-3 in their last 10, outscoring their opponents 28-20. So they are absolutely on fire heading into the playoffs. They are not slowing down whatsoever. You would think they would have, maybe try to put on the brakes, try not to have the President's Trophy curse, but they just zoomed right into that one. No, what's given. Right now in the season, they are pretty much first in every category this season, from the power play to the goal scoring. It's been crazy. So they are 55, 22, and 4 on the season. So that's 114 points. They are first in goals, like I said, or they're first in goals against, sorry, not goals for. First in goals against. So that means they have had the least amount of goals against scored for the entire season at 189. And they are fourth in goals for with 273. But that gives them the first place in goal differential with 84. So they have outscored all their opponents more than 84 times. That's just ridiculous. They have the best power play at 29.4%. And we know how the Anaheim Ducks special teams are. They're killing me. They're killing you. They're terrible. It's going to be a whole that needs to get whitewashed out the whole offseason. Like, just spend time on the special teams, please. Greg Cronin, if you're still around, get it together. My goodness. But they are 14th in their penalty kill, the Jets. So they're at 79.3%. Not really the best there, but they're also in the top half of the league. So they are very dangerous when it comes to special teams. And a big part of that is Connor Hellebuck. This guy has had another Vezina level season this year. He just continues to be the best American goaltender out there right now. And that's the only support he'll get, is that he's an American-born goaltender. He right now is at 46 wins and only 12 losses and 3 overtime losses. That is insane. He's been dominant. He has a save percentage of .924 and a .202 goals against average. So not letting a lot in during the games, and he is just shutting down shots left and right. Some of the players the Ducks really need to be looking out for, which these guys probably won't even be on the ice with the playoffs right around the corner. The Jets will be playing the St. Louis Blues. So who knows exactly what type of roster the Ducks will see tomorrow. It might be like Colorado, where they're kind of playing the AHL affiliate team. But Kyle Connor, this guy, he's been lighting it up for the Jets. He is the leader in not only goals, but he also leads the team in assists and then the entire team in points. So completely domination for Kyle Connor this year. 41 goals, 55 assists, 96 points. What a beauty that is. Hey, his name's Kyle. So you know what? That's probably why he did so well. Shifley, Velarde, and Ehlers, these guys have also been lighting it up. But again, they're probably not gonna be maybe Velarde, maybe Ehlers, but I don't know if Shifley and Connor are gonna be out there just trying to get some rest before the playoffs kick off on Sunday. Can't believe that. It's just exciting time. I wish Anaheim was in it. 7 years without the playoffs is killing me, but I look forward to having some fun watching the playoffs. And like I've said, this is the last game for the Ducks this season and they've given up the last two while having the lead in the third period. And they've lost both of those games. At least they got an OT point yet on Tuesday, but against Colorado, that abysmal performance was painful. I really do not see the Ducks beating Winnipeg in their last game. As much as it'd be nice to be leaving out on a high note, most likely this will be a Winnipeg win, and then they'll cruise right on into the playoffs on that victorious note. And looking at how they've been going in their last 10, like I said, 7-3, it's going to be a crazy hard time for St. Louis to play against the Jets, but we'll see. We know how St. Louis can be in the playoffs. There's a lot going on, and I know I keep talking about these other teams and not Anaheim, but I love hockey. I'm excited about this time of year, and I just it kills me that Anaheim's not in there. So I'm just trying not to get upset about it and not be angry. But we'll be back for more. We got the game recap tomorrow, and we'll start looking at some off-season. Uh, who knows? Well, the world is ours after tomorrow night, as the off-season just full of question marks and hypotheticals and everything, anything in between. So make sure you're liking and subscribing and sharing the Locked On Anaheim Ducks show with all of your friends and family. Go check out the YouTube. And thank you for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all new Locked On NHL Game Night. It's a blast every game, every night until a Stanley Cup champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NHL Game Night on Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's where you can find Locked On Anaheim Ducks as well. And again, I am Kyle Carr. Be good out there.